Hi friends, welcome to yet another video of Mad Friend. Today we will see punctuation rules in OET. So first rule is use a comma to separate independent clauses. Commas are used to separate two independent clauses. Before moving further, what are the independent clause? Independent clause is a group of words that can stand alone as a sentence and it expresses a full thought. That means if we separate them, they can stand by its own with a meaning. That's why they are called independent clauses. So when they are joined by coordinating conjunctions like and, but, or, and, so, there are 7 coordinating conjunctions, and you can remember it with us with an acronym fanboys. Okay, so F stands for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. And from that, the most used ones are and, but, and so. We will move on to an example. Mr. Seymour was recommended physiotherapy and he will begin his sessions next week. So if we take these two sentences, please see Mr. Seymour was recommended physiotherapy. That has a meaning. And the second sentence is he will begin his sessions next week. If we separate them also, they can stand alone. So if we are joining like these sentences, we have to put a comma in between. That is the first rule. Second rule is use a comma after an introductory element. Often a sentence will begin with an introductory word, phrase, or clause. In such cases, use a comma after introductory element to set it off from the rest of sentence. For instance, during his last consultation, Mr. Smith reported improved mobility after his knee replacement surgery. So, during his last consultation is the introductory element, and that should be separated with a comma from the rest of the sentence so that it is clear. Let's move on to the third rule, that is use commas to separate elements in a series. When listing 3 or more items, use commas to separate each item. The final comma is put before the conjunction like and or, and these are known as Oxford commas. Let's see with an example. Mr. Harry has been advised to eat a balanced diet, comma, increase his physical activity, comma, and attend regular checkups for monitoring his diabetes. So there are 3 elements and these are separated with commas. So the fourth rule is use a comma to set off non-essential information. What are non-essential information? Non-essential informations are words or phrases or clauses that is non-essential to the meaning of sentences. So without that also the sentence will have a meaning. And if we are putting these non-essential elements in a sentence, that should be separated with the commas. Let's see with an example. Miss Smith, despite experiencing mild discomfort post-surgery, is recovering well and eager to return home. So, Miss Smith is recovering well and eager to return home. With that, sentence have a meaning. But we will put the non-essential element, that is, despite experiencing mild discomfort post-surgery. That is non-essential information to that sentence. So we will separate them with commas. Fifth rule is use a comma after dependent clause that begins with a sentence. What is a dependent clause? Dependent clause cannot stand alone. So that will be followed with an independent clause, and which is separated with a comma. A dependent clause at the beginning of a sentence is often followed by a comma. This is to indicate the end of dependent clause and starts of the independent clause, which is the main point of the sentence. You will often see this comma when a sentence starts with subordinating conjunctions such as although, if, when, while, after, until, and because. This we can see by an example. Although Mr. Johnson has made some improvement in his health. That is the dependent clause. So see, in that cannot stand alone. Although Mr. Johnson has made some improvement in his health. So that is a query. So after that, this should be followed by an independent clause, and before that we have to put a comma. So he still requires ongoing monitoring of his blood pressure. So although Mr. Johnson has made some improvement in his health, comma, he still requires ongoing monitoring of his blood pressure.